Oh, why, hello there again, internet. Last time we talked about Scumfrant, Lola went to a party. She was having such a great time. She was still hanging out with Maya and her friends well into Saturday morning. Maya mentioned the third time that she's a lesbian. We were just on episode 3. So let me recap for you. The first episode, when we meet Maya for the first time, she mentions that she's a lesbian, and that makes Lola smile. Second time we see her, this happens. She mentions that she's a lesbian for the second time when she tells Lola that when a lesbian invites you to a party, that doesn't mean that she's trying to sleep with you, when that must be a goddamn joke. Because look at their interaction so far. She was clearly hitting on Lola. There's nothing platonic about that. The third time we see Maya at that party, she does not mention that she's a lesbian in that clip, but there's a lot of intense gay staring, just a lot of gay eye contact and flirtatiousness, and we're introduced to her friends. Going to this scene where Maya mentions for the third goddamn time that she's a lesbian. She was talking about her foster family. Her last foster family didn't like that she was a lesbian and she ran away. Does she have roommates now? It looks like she's doing pretty well for herself. I don't actually know how old Maya is. Do you guys know? But anyway, the girls were able to bond. They both talked about dead parents, so there is a connection there. And I like that Lola brought up her mom on her own terms. She voluntarily talked about her mom. She voluntarily talked about her family, unlike what happened with Tiff. So I did come to Tiff's defense earlier. If Tiff were the main character of her own show and we saw everything through her perspective, just giving her the benefit of the doubt, let's say that everything that she said or did, she actually wanted to make Lola feel welcome and she actually wanted to be there for Lola because maybe something like that happened to her and she didn't have anybody there for her. And I don't know. Lola's been rude as fuck. Lola immediately jumped to the worst conclusion and she lashed out because of that. And when she was talking to her dad, she was like, oh, this girl was trying to fuck with me. Look at this Instagram post. She could have had a conversation with Tiff, but she chose not to. She chose violence before she even had a conversation. Maybe if she had talked to Tiff, maybe Tiff would have decided to take it down just because Lola didn't like it. Daphne's on Lola's side, which is very interesting to me because I do really like seeing the girls getting along, enjoying each other's company, and you think that everything's gonna blow up, but then they manage to fix their problem and talk about their problem, and Daphne takes her side. But I'm also like, if Tiff was at all deserving of being put in a neck brace, I think that Daphne deserved to be in crutches. Actually, I'd say that with all of the Vildas, both the Evas and the Sanas, they could have beat her up back in season 1. She was pretty bad back then. And Tiff reminds me so much of Daphne. She reminds me of all of the Vildas. She's very feminine, she's very cheerful, and she appears to care about like social status. And then that man bun guy is like William. And I know that really cheerful feminine girls, they're usually written as shallow and as mean and manipulative and fake. But just because a girl is happy and cheerful, that doesn't mean that she is fake and awful and all of those things. Maybe that post wasn't disingenuous. I forgot to bring up the Instagram account. So you guys remember how in season 1 we thought that Ingrid was behind all of the hate that Eva was getting, but then it turned out that she didn't send the period blood letter. There might be a plot twist like that. I'm getting a lot of season 1 vibes from this season. I will say about that Instagram hate account, your Instagram hate account is completely ineffective if the target of that hate, they look cute in every picture that you post of them. What are you thinking? That's not a good idea. But anyway, I think that my point still stands that if we saw all of this from Tiff's point of view, we might think that this is justified. Because again, she got injured when Lola could have just talked to Tiff. Remember how in season 2 of Skam we see that Nora has this picture on her wall in her bedroom everybody is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Be kind always. And it really bothered me that that message was very selectively applied. We can see somebody like William be awful, but we see him be nice a couple of times towards the end, and we hear his tragic backstory, so everything's forgiven. Whereas, say, I don't know, the Yakuza boys, we don't even know their side of the story. And I felt like that undermined their whole message in that we see this conflict with the Yakuza boys and we never find out their side of the story. We never get to hear from them. We don't even know their names. We just know what Vilda tells us, and Vilda is very obviously biased in favor of William. I'm just saying, if it was okay for William to tell Vilda that she wasn't pretty enough after he already slept with her, because how else do you reject a girl? What the Yakuza boys said to Eben shouldn't have bothered William at all. Maybe they had a good reason for saying horrible things about Eben, right? Maybe they treated her like shit in order to protect her. I decided not to wear the flower crown. I don't think it goes with this. Yeah, and it is also a little bit frustrating when you see that people, they're able to look at Lola and understand, okay, she's very angry, but it's because deep down she's in a lot of pain. I think we should be compassionate towards Lola. Some of that compassion was very limited when it came to the Sonic characters. And I mean, you guys know my feelings towards this.
Hun en rasistisk kjerring som... Hun løy meg rett opp I trynet. Og bak ryggen min drev hun og planla å skvise meg av bussen.
Eller kanskje hun bare ville kaste av bussen fordi du en nedlatende bossy bitch.
If you don't know, I made a video, so... I did really like seeing this turning point with Lola and Daphne's relationship, because with Lola, people are either trying to look out for her or they're mad at her that they tried to look out for her, but she lashed out at them or whatever the hell. It was just nice to see the tables turn and see her in the more supporting role. She is trying to support Daphne because it was Daphne's birthday and her dad forgot about it. But it was Lola's idea to throw a surprise birthday party. And Daphne wasn't very pleased at first. She wasn't having fun at first. But I do really like that Lola gave her some tough love, and she realized that she spent the last 3 years actively avoiding having her friends come over and see her place. But it's okay, and they don't care because they already like you. Everything's fine, everything is good for all of 5 minutes, and then their dad had to come along and ruin everything. Hi, it's Friday evening. For a good minute and a half, I was like, oh great, the sisters are getting along, everything's good, and then we get this. She's the one who told us. She clearly looks pissed off. How's he not reading that? What the fuck? He knows that Lola isn't happy about being institutionalized. Why would he say that? That just makes no goddamn sense. So I had a theory that since Tiff and her friends had a crush on the man bun guy, I thought that she might retaliate against Tiff by sleeping with man bun guy as revenge. And when I hovered over the thumbnail for Saturday's clip, I was like, I knew it. There she is with a guy with a man bun. I knew it. I'm a genius. But then that was some different guy. So I don't know if man bun is going to be significant later on, but whatever. We're introduced to this dude who we see again at the end of the episode with this creepy ass mustache. She wakes up in Maya's bed. Not the first time, not the last time she woke up in somebody else's bed. Maya has a picture of the family. There's some very intimate hugging. I say very intimate hugging because, I mean, like, look, there were shots of like their hands and their arms. It was very sweet. I like that they have each other. I think that Maya's doing a good good job of taking care of Lola. It's very clear that she cares about Lola, and Lola feels comfortable enough to talk to her. But that's a big problem because they've only known each other for a few weeks, and Lola has opened up. She's made herself vulnerable, and as soon as Maya starts ghosting her, it's over for her. One wrong move and you are out. Maya said that she's busy, but not too busy to go to a party. She said that her ex was overprotective, or not overprotective, he was protective of her, right? And she's dealt with some trauma in the past. She has dead parents, and then she went into foster care, and then she ran away from foster care. So she has her own baggage, and now she's met some girl, but she has quite a bit of baggage herself. If I were Maya, I would not be flirting with her or anything like that. I just don't want to date an addict ever. And if I knew somebody who is an addict and they get drunk, they get high, the minute we have our first fight, I'd be very worried. I would want to be friends with Lola, but I probably wouldn't want to date her or lead her on in any way. Lola is once again very upset. This is like a very continuous hell week. I wonder if we're going to get any episodes that's going to feel like the honeymoon period, because it's just like there are brief moments where she's happy and we think that some progress is being made, but then we kind of walk back a little bit on that. But we see more development in this relationship between Eliott and Lola, and I love it. I think that they have great big brother, little sister dynamic energy. I think that they could be great friends, and they're not going to ruin this with a love triangle, right? Right? I'm watching this and I'm thinking, oh, that's really sweet. But like on the inside, I'm also like, oh, Jesus. I don't want to know how Scum France is going to fuck this up, but I do really like the friendship that's forming between them. I think it's very sweet. I did really like seeing Eliott and Lola together at the video store. I saw The Kid back when I was in high school, back when I was Lola's age. It was a really good movie. Though I didn't know that video rental stores still existed. I thought that they became obsolete because Netflix and Hulu exist. After their fight, Maya wants to make up, but Lola, does she call Maya? Does she call somebody else? Yes, I know the answer to that question. I have seen all of the clips that were released on Saturday. It's Saturday and like we already have 10 minutes of footage for the next episode. It's very weird. But anyway, if I were in Lola's situation, I would not call Maya. Some guy tried to rape me. I'm not gonna call another woman because she might end up in the same situation that I was in. And then like, no, I would call a big, tall man who has some muscles. I'm glad that she called Eliott and that he helped save her from that situation. I was really worried because when we see her run off to the bathroom, I didn't know that she had her phone with her. I was watching that scene like, where's her phone? We see her hands up. She doesn't have her phone. I'm gonna have to go rewatch it and watch it in slow motion because I think when we see her running to the bathroom, maybe she had her phone in her back pocket. I think there's a shot of her reaching for her phone. And since it wasn't in her hand, she must have put it in her pocket at some point. But that would have been horrible if she had just locked herself in the bathroom. She didn't have her wallet, she didn't have her coat, she didn't have her phone. Maybe she could sneak out the window, but then what? I'm glad that she took her phone with her and that she was a little bit safer. I'm very interested in seeing what's gonna happen with Maya and Lola. I do really like that when they had the fight, Lola just yelled out, "Don't you wanna fuck me? I'm down for it." Lola likes to hook up with people, have one night stands, and I'm curious if she's ever been in an actual relationship. Anyway, I guess that is that. I might see you next week. I'm not sure. I didn't make a video last week in part because I got caught up in this heterosexual nonsense.
Are you sleeping with her?
No. Sure, when I have the time.
Would you like to?
Not hugely gone on the idea myself. Don't think I'm really that insatiable. Do already have you. That was a joke, Marianne.
Yeah. I didn't get it.
Marianne, kick his ass to the curb. Also, ContraPoints posted a video on Saturday and it took me several days to watch that one video since it was long as fuck. So yeah, that's what happened last week. I don't know what's gonna happen next week. We shall find out.